Give me 3 days and I'm going to show you what a powerful manifester you are by using Neville Goddard's I will not technique. Hi everyone, this is Diana Palm. I love this technique because I'm always looking for faster ways to improve manifestation results. I love teaching this because you can do it on your own and it's a very easy way to release resistance to what it is you want to have in your life. So I watched tons of Neville Goddard videos to really get the process down, even though it's extremely simple. So I'll lead you through it and I'll tell you what my results were, which were kind of funny. They were pretty uncanny. So we'll dive right into the very simple technique from Neville Goddard called I will not. In the first step of this process, I'm going to have you write down on a piece of paper, in quotes, I will not climb a ladder. And then post it somewhere you'll see it every single day. Put it on your smartphone, tape it to your refrigerator, put it on your laptop or computer or the vanity mirror. Just make sure that you see it every single day, multiple times. It's a very clear and precise statement. And even though you may or may not want anything to do with ladders, this is a really good way to start because it will show you whether or not this process is effective for you. It only takes 3 days. So if you can master this, imagine what you can apply it to. Rather than a ladder, you can use it for anything. So again, we're going to start with the very simple process of just writing down on a piece of paper or all over your house, I will not climb a ladder. Now, the second thing you need to do is when you're going to sleep at night, sleep in an unusual position. If you're used to falling asleep on your back, go to sleep on your left side so that it takes you a little bit longer to fall asleep. And the whole time as you drift off to sleep, I want you to imagine that you're literally climbing a ladder. Keep your eyes closed and picture it as thoroughly as possible. Picture the wooden ladder, the metal ladder, whatever kind of ladder it is, and your feet and hands moving up each rung of the ladder. As you fall asleep, imagine that you're going up the ladder and then down the ladder, up the ladder again and down the ladder again. Continue doing this until you fall asleep. On day 2, when you wake up, begin saying the statement again that you have taped all over your house at this point. I will not climb a ladder. I will not climb a ladder. I will not climb a ladder. And when you go to bed the second night, imagine yourself climbing the ladder as you fall asleep. On the third day, you'll look around your house and repeat to yourself all day long, every time you look at your piece of paper or your little note, I will not climb a ladder. And when you go to bed that night, climb the ladder as you fall asleep. Now, I'll tell you what my experience was with this because I wanted to put it to the test. So I did this technique and I kind of thought, well, you know what? I'll give it a whirl to see if it works because if it does, I'm definitely going to want to share it on my channel and share it with all my clients and friends. I did this exact technique. I will not climb a ladder during the day. And as I fell asleep at night, I imagined that I was climbing the ladder. On day 3, I was out with friends, having a cocktail, sitting by a fire in a local venue. And one of my friends began to tell me this elaborate story about wanting to ship something from one of his homes to the next. And you know what that item was? A ladder. I really couldn't believe it. This was on day 3. So I saw that somehow the universe conspired to bring me this because it wasn't just a mention of a random ladder. My friend was really upset because of the cost it would take to move this inexpensive item from one state to the next and how much more it cost to move it than it actually would cost to buy a ladder again. So he went on and on with his ladder story. And it was probably the 3rd or 4th time when he mentioned the word ladder that it clicked for me. Whoa, my manifestation just showed up. It's entirely unusual for me or any of my friends to sit around and have conversations about ladders. So I could see that this worked. It wasn't that a ladder showed up for me physically, but it was the topic of a very direct conversation. So I could see how this really could be applied to other things you want to manifest in your life, whether that be a new job opportunity, meeting somebody special, or moving into your dream home. Because as far as what Neville Goddard says, is it doesn't matter what that item is. And if you do this for 3 days and you get some sort of response from the universe about a ladder, either you find yourself on a ladder or ladder is significant to you on the 3rd day, this will show you how powerful you are at manifesting. And then you can actually apply this to something else. But before you do that, before you dive in and start manifesting tons of money and success in love, I want you to actually use the ladder technique and write it down below all your responses within 3 days. Now, it has to only be 3 days. So this is a 3-day commitment. I want you to write it down in the comments, come back to this video and tell me how a ladder came into your existence on the 3rd day. This will totally build your confidence for manifesting anything it is you want within 3 days by just following this simple technique. For many years, I've been teaching my students not to say the word not, because your brain doesn't understand it. It basically deletes it from your sentence. I have many people that tell me, when I grow up, I am not going to be like my mother. And what happens? They find themselves being exactly like their mother. And that could be used for many different things. When you say, I'm not going to date that person, or I'm not going to turn out that way, you tend to turn out that way because your brain doesn't hear the word not. It deletes it from that sentence. You're literally programming yourself to be exactly the way that you don't want to be. That's why in hypnosis and subconscious programming, we literally delete the word not. We learn to rephrase things and restructure the sentence so that we're not using the word not. But in this particular technique, Neville Goddard found a way to use it to your benefit, to actually trick your brain into thinking you don't want the ladder, nor do you want $1 million or the love of your life. And by saying that you don't want it, you're programming your brain to want it. But also you're removing the resistance because you're saying to yourself, I don't want a ladder. I don't want $1 million. I don't want to live in my dream home. I don't want a new perfect job. And because you technically are saying you don't want it, you're releasing energy. You're surrendering to it, while at the same time, you're tricking your brain to program yourself for having it. After you've done this for 3 days and you've had some kind of significant result around ladder, then I want you to go ahead and use the same exact technique for what it is you want. Start with just one thing, focus on one thing at a time instead of focusing on many, so that your brain can really get attuned with what it is that you're trying to manifest. So in other words, after you've done this and seen results, I want to challenge you to write in something that you really, really want. What is your heart desire? Is it your dream house? Is it a house with a pool with beautiful sunset views? Is it a really amazing opportunity in mass media? Is it the love of your life? Whatever that is, I want you to then insert it in the statement that you previously wrote about the ladder. So you'll say, I do not want the love of my life. I do not want my soulmate. I do not want my soulmate. Write it down and put it all over your house, just as you did with the ladder. And then at night when you go to sleep, you'll see yourself with your soulmate. And you'll visualize hugging your soulmate, holding hands with your soulmate, staying up late at night talking and laughing and feeling super fulfilled. You'll see yourself going places, traveling, building a home, and enjoying your life together. Going out to dinner, going to the movies, all these wonderful couple things. The more you can visualize it, the more you actually lock it in. So continue to fall asleep in that visualization, visualizing you in the picture with your person. And you don't have to actually identify what that person looks like. Just have an image there. It's more about the feelings and seeing yourself projected into the imagery of your imagination as you fall asleep. And then again, during the day, you're going to say to yourself, I do not want that. I do not want this. And see what happens then. Please come back to my channel and let me know. Again, I'm Diana Palm, and I'm always looking for better ways to improve your ability to manifest. Thank you so much for visiting. If you like this video, please give me a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And I can't wait to see what you write down in the comments. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.